Good evening, VK2IUW, taking on the call sign VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, the call sign of the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club, and the Wednesday evening 2-meter net. Trust everyone is well. IRLP Reflector 9501, no echo link unfortunately. You can see a little delayed Ustream video and audio broadcast on ustream.tv/channel/VK2IUW, or just do a search in Google for Ustream, USTREAM, and my call sign VK2IUW, and you should come across it. Any check-ins to the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listening.
VK2 FWAY.
Good evening, Wayne. VK2 FWAY. Any further check-ins for the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listening.
VK2 JP on handheld, I'll be in and out. Thank you.
VK2 JP, and I should know the name, and I don't. Name is Hillary. Hill is the name, and you'd have to remind me of your name. VK2 JP, VK2 HZ Portable.
Yeah, Roger, Hillary, VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 JP, name Joe, J-O-E. Yeah, that's alright. Like I said, I'm on handheld power side. I'm maybe around the power battery side. I always just put that on a head. My big radio, it's something wrong with the side, but I get to fella to fix it. So VK2 JP returning.
Yeah, okay, Joe, no problem. You're a good signal into the repeater. No problems at all, and I can hear you on the input as well. I'm down in Glenmore Park, so you've got an excellent signal. Good to hear you, Joe, and thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. You gonna stay around, or are you going, Joe? VK2 JP, VK2 HZ Portable.
Yeah, Roger, HZ Portable to JP on handheld. Yeah, I'll be listening on and off, and like I said, if the power goes down, you obviously are not going to reply back. And because my big rig is something wrong with it, receiving side with a problem side, I'm using a handheld VX7R, but I'm using the external antenna, 20 meter in the dual bender. That's why I can hear me good. But like I said, problem was only with the power. VK2 JP returning to you.
Yeah, okay, Joe. VK2 JP, VK2 HZ Portable. No problem. We'll you're going to be listening. We'll call you in. Certainly a good signal at the moment. Any further check-ins for the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listen. With somebody there, just missed you just a bit too quick. VK2 HZ Portable listening. VK2SOL. Good evening. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, and I should know your name as well, and I've forgotten. VK2SOL, VK2 HZ Portable.
I want to check my antenna where I see my antenna doesn't work properly. That's why I call it.
Yeah, okay, John. Well, you're making it into the repeater, a bit noisy, but you're perfectly Q5, so no problems at all for us to hear you. And thanks for calling in. Any further check-ins to the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2 meter net, VK2HZ portable? VK2 TTL, good evening to you, Rod. Trust you well. Had a good day, hopefully. And any further check-ins, VK2HZ portable? No, nothing heard. Round to you, Wayne. Good evening to you. Hope you've had a good week. VK2 FWAY, VK2HZ portable.
2HZ portable to FWAY. Yes, good evening, Hill. Yeah, just well, I've been working days, so it's got to be better than working nights like I have been. So, but yeah, it's been reasonably okay. It's a little warm. Nothing too untoward. A little bit of progress made on a couple of fronts. I've got confirmation that that 2 meter antenna has been, or it's in shipping at the moment, and another transceiver is in shipping as well. So that's been about my week in radio. VK2HZ portable, VK2FWAY.
Yeah, okay, Wayne. Not a problem. That's an exciting week. You've got some nice new toys on the way by the sounds of it, so that's excellent. Be interested to see how that antenna performs for you. It looks interesting, and another radio. That's always good to have another radio to play with. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had a new radio, but I've got a few around here, so that's all good. Radio wise, what have I been up to? Contest on the weekend, the Oceania contest, SSB contest. A bit of a play in that for about 10 hours, I think. Didn't work as many stations as I wished, but I wasn't intending to actually compete in the contest, but got a bit carried away after a while. So I put my log in for the Oceania contest, and that's on the CW portion is on this weekend coming, and also the club meeting this Friday evening. If anyone would like to join us, reminder that the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club meeting is on this Friday on the 9th. Doors open at 7:30, meeting starts at 8. Everyone's welcome, please come along. Website is bmarc.org if you'd like more information. Background to you, Joe, if you're still listening. VK2JP, VK2HZ portable.
Hey Roger, VK2HZ portable, VK2JP returning. So far I got a bit of power, so I should be right. Good evening everybody. I heard a Rod, TTL, I heard a John, SOL, and a few other ones. Sorry, good evening everybody. And yeah, I got a problem, Hillary, with my Yaesu FT897D. They're actually on the receiving side, obviously my side, receiving it's deaf, noisy, unbelievable. I can't even understand them when the people try to tell me something. Transmitting is no problem, perfect, never ever had a problem yet. But what's actually happened, a friend of mine was here, I tried to fix just his handheld radio, and have a guess he transmits with his handheld radio, and then my radio was switched on and it looks like the damage the front end. But I don't believe it, I'm not happy. But I can't understand the radio was plugged into the outside antenna and still done the damage. So that's a big lesson. Never get any radio closer to yours when it's switched on. You know, I made a big mistake, I think. So I take it to Action Communication down to Ben when he come back next week, so I have a look at it. But I'm sure it's something over the input side. VK2HZ portable, VK2JP on handheld power.
Yeah, okay, Joe. That sounds a little unusual. If you had no direct connection, I must admit luckily I've never experienced a problem like that. Apart from once I did transmit directly into the radio, but you would expect the front end to blow up in a situation like that. I didn't switch my antenna correctly at the time in the way that I had it configured. That wasn't here, that was many years ago, but yeah, if they weren't connected, that's a little unusual. I certainly run a few radios here that are not physically connected, but on the same bands, and haven't had any issues like that, but it's worth bearing in mind, isn't it? I don't know if the 897 is prone to that. It'll be interesting if anyone else has had an experience like that with that particular radio, Joe. So sorry to hear about that. That's not good. John, have you sold your? You were at. We met at the Dural at the last Trash and Treasure. You were selling your HF antenna. Did you manage to sell that, John? VK2 SOL, VK2 Hotel Zulu portable.
Nobody buys the antenna. My antenna was very, very expensive antenna. I buy maybe $1,100, and I can't sell it because nobody will buy it. Anyway, I bring home the antenna back and give it home. But maybe one day I put back. I have some problem with the cancel because the inspector is cancelled. I can't. I have all the three antennas on my backyard. I have 6 antennas and I have to put down 3 antennas. I put down one antenna was a vertical antenna, the other antenna was a freezer, dipole freezer, and the other antenna was the third antenna was a small dish for my gun, satellite dish for my gun. I have to put all 3 antennas down. Anyway, maybe one day I put back, I waited for the cancel by give me approved to put all antennas back, but I don't know when. Anyway, can you tell me how here it is? Because my antenna for 2 meters, 70 centimeters, is small VIP push strap. Alpha 270 10. And I have to put that antenna under my TV antenna because the cancel have to put that antenna through there, and I put the antenna under the same TV antenna over.
Yeah, okay, John. Well, you're certainly making it in okay, and your Q5 into the repeater. It's like I said before, you're a little noisy, but you're certainly making it okay. And yeah, that's an interesting story with your antenna situation there, and the council. Very interesting indeed. So I'm assuming that you've applied for permission to put the other masts up, or poles, or I've had a look on your QRZ page. So yeah, well, I mean, you've got a few antennas there, but I wonder who complained. Yeah, interesting. Maybe you can put them all on the 3 poles, John, rather than on 6. And I saw the satellite dish there on your QRZ page. I'm assuming that's a TV, satellite TV dish rather than a ham radio microwave dish. Good evening, Rod. Trust you well. What have you been up to? VK2 TTL, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 TTL, everything there, Hill, and Joe, and John, and anyone else that's listening. Well, I forgot. Just having dinner. Got pork chops and roast veggies like carrots and stuff. Broccoli and things. So just eating that at the moment. So that's something important I'm doing. I've been doing much with radio. Very little radio, but other things that I'm doing. But, so they're probably taking up time instead. So, what's the word? I don't know. Friday, we'll probably be there Friday. So, could I go to a presentation tomorrow in the city for my daughter? So, I'll do that. And, that's about it, I think. Oh, yeah, yesterday's noise issue that, the switch mode supply wasn't normally on, but it was on. It caused me a lot of grief hearing things. Supplying power to some LED lighting. That's the switch mode supply. So brought up to 5/9 noise level. That's why I had a bit of trouble hearing people yesterday. Particularly you, but anyway. Back to you there, Hill. VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 T-Sweater.
Okay, Rod, VK2 TTL, VK2 HZ Portable. Yeah, you were an excellent signal on AT last night. Probably the strongest I've ever heard you. So it was unfortunate you had the noisy switch mode power supply in the house. Yeah, notorious, aren't they? I've had a few that have broken down over time. You know, you think you've got rid of all of the electrical noise in the house, in your own QDH, and all of a sudden some noise comes up from somewhere. And usually a switch mode power supply somewhere from some device that has gone noisy. I actually got problems with a smaller TV, which the power supply has gone noisy. So I'm going to make sure that one's switched off when I'm on HF. That's my daughter in my daughter's room. Okay, and the presentation. I wonder what that is. I'm going there tomorrow. Yep. Well, hopefully we'll see you at the club on Friday evening if you get some time. I know you got to drive a fair distance, so it's always a bit of a hassle for you to get to the club. Okay, we're down to the bottom of the list. Let's see if there's any further check-ins to the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2 meter net. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listening.
The JP break.
Yes, Joe, go ahead.
Well, just after Rodney, just in case if you disappear or my power goes there, I need to ask you some question, please.
Yeah, go for it, Joe.
With Rodney, listen, I got a problem with the channel 10 receiving. It's a pixelized picture, getting pixelized. Channel 10, 11, 12, and 14. I combined to channel 10, they said nothing wrong with the transmission. But sometimes I got a problem here, like especially tonight. You can't watch the channel, it's all digital, pixelized, you can't just a crackling noise, you can't listen at all, you can't watch it. If you get any idea. And another question is, if you had a guy's problem with the power supply, maybe I got the same problem, maybe nothing wrong with the radio. Back to you, Rodney.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with channel 10's output. It'll be some sort of local issue. Had dealings with various people in the past. And sometimes it might be a reflection, it might be a bit of interference on that frequency. It's a bit hard to explain as far as just talking. And if you have a bit of test unit, you can see the received RF pattern, which we did do in the past when we went out to people's places. You can see what's happening to the actual signal, but you get little notches cut into the. It's like a tabletop. 7 megahertz is like a tabletop. It comes up, it's flat, it comes back down again, and you can get. And if that's too notchy, if you get too many holes punched into that, then your receiver will have a lot of trouble. That could be caused by reflections at certain frequencies or oscillations from interference on certain frequencies. Masthead amplifiers can cause problems because they can start oscillating. Could be switch mode supplies. It's unlikely to be switch modes up that high, but you've got all your harmonics and everything. So it could be just something that's got in the way. You might think, well, why is it affecting the other channels? It just happens to be frequency dependent for that particular length. What it works out to be. So something's, if you never used to have the interference before, turn that reset. And you do now, well, it's something that's a tree that's growing up or buildings got in the way, someone's put a pole in the way, someone's put a cell tower in the way, or it's getting a reflection. It might be directly in the way, might be off at an angle. But yeah, you might try relocating the TV antenna, that's one way, or changing the direction slightly might just improve it enough. So yeah, it's not a lot you can do, but you can move your antenna around a little bit. Sometimes that can be enough, height-wise or horizontal position anyway. That should be enough, yeah. So you get interference from anything, physical things or electronic devices. Back to you, Hill.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks for that. Back round to you, Joe. Go for it.
Thanks for that. Okay, Rodney. Well, yeah, like I said, you never had a problem, and all of a sudden it just pops out. And no any other channels. Exactly. At the time when you talk, I was listening, and I went to channel 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15. That's only where the problem is. Any other channel is perfect. And I got one of the Samsung LED television with a few years now, so but only where I can, like you said, I can go at the top there, try and move the antenna, and if that's going to improve or not. But I thought that maybe one day if you got the time or passing by with your instruments, because you're the person who's doing that stuff already for your real job site, maybe you can check it. But usually what's happened already after 4 or 5 o'clock. During the day it's nothing. During the day it's perfect. So that's only the problem comes evening. But it didn't happen for the last 3-4 months was perfect. Now this is today, it's first day, come back again after 3 or 4 months. Back to you, Hillary.
I was coming home from the holidays, didn't I?
That's maybe.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah, it could be many things, I suppose. It's probably a damn radio ham who's been on holiday and come back home. Decided to go on HF and is wiping your TV out, Joe. You haven't got any radio hams around you near you, have you? Yeah, it could be. Like Rod said, it could be many things. Maybe your coax or something between the TV and or a connector between your TV and the antenna has worked its way loose, or a bit of water in the coax maybe if it's you got some outside. I don't know, it's possible. But as Rod says, maybe we've got a bit of wind, so maybe the antenna's worked its way around a little bit. Who knows? Could be lots of different things. So okay, let's just see if there's any further check-ins to the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2 meter net. You don't need to be a member of the club to join us. Everyone's welcome. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable Listen.
This is VK2, Echo India Radio.
VK2 Victor Romeo. VK2 FBI.
Good evening. Good evening to Joe. Trust you well. To Phil. Nice to hear you again, Phil, for a second time. Excellent. And to Bill. Hope you're feeling okay, Bill. We'll go round these three gentlemen first. Round to you, Joe. VK2 EIR, VK2 HZ Portable.
Yeah, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable. A very good evening to you and to everybody on frequency this evening. And I just wanted to make a comment of some experiences I've had to VK2JP regarding your radio. Among my radio collection, I also have a Yaesu 897 Delta, but that's not the issue. A little while ago, with my first Kenwood TS2000X, it wasn't performing well at all. It sounds a little bit like your 897 or 857 Delta at the moment. So I took it down to North Ryan, to the people down there, and I met with a very experienced technician, and he really surprised me. I've been sitting in a type of waiting room advertising area for a while, and my thoughts were thinking of different things when he arrived back, and he said, there's nothing wrong with your radio except that it's deaf. And I kind of said, I beg your pardon? He said, your radio is deaf. And then I realized what he was talking about. I said, okay, I'm a mechanical guy, so I take your word for that. So how can we fix it? He said, yeah, no problem. And then I did a little bit of research on the net, and with the Kenwood TS2000X and some of the other radios, including the 897 Delta, there was a year or years of manufacturers of ceramic filters that evidently had a fairly medium lifespan. And he replaced those in my TS2000X. He didn't charge me anything for it, and I think it's a fair possibility that that's what's happening to your 857 or 897 Delta, Joe. VK2JP with permission from net control from VK2EIR.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Good evening, Joe. Good evening on the station as well. Thanks, Hillary. Yeah, well, could be, yeah. Like I said, you know my radio guy, we had a camping a few times, had the John Moyle, and never ever had a problem. All of a sudden, you know, I could not believe that the little handheld radio could affect the front end. I thought, well, maybe, but because my radio is plugged on the external antenna, so it could not be affected. I said, but, you know, it could be possible. But thanks for that, Joe. Well, maybe I have to try. I will talk to you. I got your number, so I will talk to you regarding that further on your mobile phone, so we can see something. I can take it somewhere, whatever. I don't know, maybe take it to Ben, whatever. But obviously, I thought that maybe even the power supply, something went wrong when I heard the road saying. So I thought that maybe power supply is getting the problems, but I got one of the GME 35M power supply, so it's not a dual, what's it called, switch mode as well. So it's not a switch mode, it's an ordinary one. So I don't know, it could be anything. But yeah, okay, thanks for that, Joe. I put it back to, nice to hear your voice, Joe, again. And put it back to net controller VK2HZ Portable, VK2JP returning for the group.
Yeah, okay, two Joes. Thank you, Joe, and thank you, Joe. That sounds like a possible problem or solution or a cause of Joe's problem, so it's excellent. I think there's quite a few people that got the 897D, so maybe somebody else has experienced similar problems. But that's certainly one avenue to have some investigation with Joe. Good evening to Phil, round to you. VK2VR, VK2HZ Portable.
Yeah, thanks, Hill, and good day, everybody. Don't know exactly who's on, just trundled up to the shed, and I thought, oh, hang on. the 2-minute net time, so I thought I'd jump on and say g'day Joe. G'day Joe, and the only other person that I know there at the moment is Bill, and g'day everybody else. Just up here I managed to pick up a subwoofer amplifier the other day, and I'm just having a bit of a play, just trying to, got it on the bench, just seeing if it'll fit in the enclosure that I've got, so a little bit of fiddling around there. And I also picked up a what do you call it, a Yamaha cassette deck, a real cassette player, Yamaha K960, and it's a DBX encoded cassette deck, and boy oh boy, I've been chasing one down in this condition for a number of years, and thankfully this one's turned up. Unfortunately it's in a silver finish and not black, but anyway, what the heck. It's a good unit. I'm just about to plug it in and give it a bit of a wiggle. I've got a lot of DBX encoded cassette tapes, 72 plus of albums that I've recorded from vinyl, mostly mine. So yeah, so I thought anyway, while I'm doing that, the radio's on, and I thought, wow, let's have a listen. Thanks for running the net, Hill, and I'll see who else is there in the next over. VK28Z Portable, VK2 VR.
Yeah, okay, Phil. Thanks for coming through. You've got a few projects on the go all the time, haven't you? Subwoofer amplifier and the cassette deck. That sounds pretty cool. I'm not quite sure what that is. A C960, I think you said, Yamaha. I wonder what's special about that particular device. Be interested to know. Yeah, Wayne is here. FWAY, Joe JP, John SOL, Rod TTL, Joey IR, yourself, and Bill. VK2 FBI, and it's round to Bill. I trust you're. Hope you're feeling okay, Bill. VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable in the group. VK2 FBI. Yeah, good evening, Hill. Yes, I'm here all in one piece. I think has been an exciting week, and I've been prodded and poked by the best of them and run through a few machines, but still here, still surviving. Although mysteriously I found out this afternoon I've got a pair of what's described as surgical clips inside me. I'm not sure whether that's like suture clamps or what, but the only operation I've ever had was in 2000, so I guess it's been there for 15 years. Those things are usually made out of stainless steel, so I imagine it takes them quite a while to dissolve away, but that's about the only exciting thing that's happened this week. The rest of it's been fairly routine, and I've been keeping a low profile here in the shack. Couldn't get out in that heat, of course. That heat was really incredible, and quite frankly, I wouldn't go anywhere unless there was undercover parking at the other end and go from one air-conditioned premises to another air-conditioned premises in the comfort of my air-conditioned car. But I certainly wasn't keen in getting out in that heat. That was awful. Anyway, my son's gone back to Shanghai. He left on Sunday night. I dropped him off at the airport, and he's back there right now. So I've seen a lot of him recently. I've seen him for 4 weeks out of the last 5 weeks, and though it's always good to see him at any old time. I haven't been doing much on the radio at all. I've had it running here, but there hasn't been a lot on. But I have noticed over the last few days, I don't know whether it's been the heat or what, but back a while ago, before they did the hello, am I still here?
Yeah, go for it.
That's funny, I've got a strange display come up on me. Wasn't sure if I was transmitting there for a while. I'm showing very little RF. Yeah, I don't know if it's been the RF or what, but I noticed a lot of the mobile signals over the last few days have been very noisy. after they did that antenna work a couple of months back, everything came up really good and everyone seemed to be really pretty well noise-free signal. But the last few days I've heard an awful lot of noisy signals, so I don't know whether that's the temperature or inversion or whether there's a problem there again, but it was sort of reminiscent of that time a few months back when we had some serious receiving problems on this repeater, so I hope that's not a reoccurrence of that. Good evening to everyone, including Phil. I only caught you briefly last week, and I was a bit late getting to that tonight because I had my number 2 son's been down here chatting to me. I thought better not discourage him, although I must admit, he every time he comes down here I notice my fridge gets a lot lighter. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but I think I know who's behind it. VK2AZ in the group, VK2FEI.
Yeah, okay, Bill. Well, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better and things are rolling along. And yeah, not too sure about the clips they found. I've got a similar story for my my daughter from one of her operations on a knee, and about 6 months, well, no, it's over a year later, they found bits of the sore in her knee and decided to leave it in there. Decided it was better to leave it the remnants of the sore in her knee rather than go in and get them again. So yes, all sorts of things can happen, can't they? Our life in their hands, as they say. Okay, we come down to the bottom. I don't think Wayne's ever going to get up to the. We're going to get back to the top again. So we'll take a break and see if there are any further check-ins to the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listening. Nothing heard. It's your turn, Wayne, if you're still there. VK2 FWAY, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 FWAY. Oh, that's okay. It's not as big a group as it was last week. And it's good because I don't have to go anywhere this week. Speaking of which, I was, after I left last week, I was able to monitor the net all the way to work on the handheld that I just had sitting on the seat in the car. So it's amazing what you can hear. Got a little bit fluttery in a few different places, but was still able to listen. Even after the net, when you were continuing to talk to Cliff, I was listening at work. I was going to say something, but I was just decided to monitor as well. Yes. So, what else was I going to say? How about Bill was talking about the heat. I didn't think the heat was that bad. I think it's a bit more to do with just a culture shock from the weather we have had to what we have now. I know I was at work and in towards the city there, it was about 30 degrees. They're all running around going, oh, I'm going to die, it's so hot. I wasn't even raising a sweat. And I thought, okay, what are you people going to do when it gets to 40 or 45? They will all curl over and die. It was actually quite funny. But, yes, I think the other thing I've noticed, I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but around here I've found, since the heat came up, the noise level, even on 2 meters, I've had noise at about S3, and I don't normally have noise like that. It's been rather annoying, actually. I was concerned it might have even been the radio was faulty, but no. It comes and goes, all sorts of things like that. So that was rather a painful experience. Watching the needle bounce around, obviously it's under the squelch level, but just watching the needle bounce conversations, they were quite often difficult to hear because of the noise level. Anyway, that's about it. I'll say hello to everybody else that's joined the net since it started, and it just came around to me again. I'll put it back to you, Hill, and you can pass it on and keep it moving. That way I'll avoid timing out timing this thing out. VK28Z portable, VK2FWAY.
Yeah, okay, Wayne, no problems. Pleasure to have you here. And yeah, well, it was definitely warm. Definitely warm. In Penrith it was anyway. Yeah, but I mean for this time of year it's a little unusual, but not too unusual, I suppose. But yeah, it was warm. Warm enough anyway, that's for sure. Okay, round to Joe, VK2JP, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable.
Roger, VK2HZ Portable, VK2JP returning. Yeah, good evening everybody again. Couple more stations, I think so I heard it. So, good evening everybody, and I'm looking already into my radio, looking for this ceramic filter search on the net side. Thanks, Joe. And Joe, if you're listening, I left a message on your mobile phone. So I left a message for you, so give me a call when you got time. And I'm going to look into this to try to replace the filters or find out whatever's wrong with the ceramic filters, if there's something else that's causing the problem. But I hope it's not the power supply. I don't have much to say, Hillary, just I'll be listening as well, and I just actually have to plug the new very short power charger to the power, otherwise the batteries will be go flat. So I'm not going to hold the microphone too long. So I put it back to you, Hillary, thanks again, and I'll be listening the side, but the battery charger will be on side, should be okay for the next transmission. VK2HZ Portable, VK2JP for the group returning.
VK2JP, VK2HZ Portable. Yeah, okay, Joe, not a problem. You're still a good signal into the repeater. I can still hear you on the input as well, so no problems at the moment. So the battery's holding up. Round to John, VK2SOL, VK2HZ Portable. Still there, John? VK2SOL, VK2HZ Portable. No, not there. We'll call him round on the next one. Rod, VK2TTL, VK2HZ Portable.
VK2HZ Portable, VK2 TTL. Yes, well, welcome all those that have come in since my last open. Excuse me. Finished my pork and veg, and also my dessert, which was strawberries and rhubarb. Very, very nice. As far as Yamahas go there, Phil, I got a KX260, so it looks not quite as fancy as the one you got, but I got that Springwood Hi-Fi about 25 years ago. And I got an RX 570 with it. Seems to sound okay. And some Springwood Hi-Fi speakers, so I put with it. I also had a CD player which had a turntable on it, but that bit of it stopped working, so you know that part of the hi-fi stuff sort of got better anyway. The cassette decks and nice sounding amplifiers or receiver amplifiers. You know, I looked at the new ones, and they know better as far as noise and rumble and distortion figures, or you know, this one I've got it actually. When you look at that side of things, it's not too bad. So well, There's no use upgrading it because I'm going to be getting a slight downgrade because the tickets are slightly worse. But anyway, that's what I got. I do play cassette now and then, and I've got a CDC turntable. Well, it's a track drive thing. So I bought from George's in George Street, the hi-fi shop, way back. People can remember back that far when hi-fi was really big, and there was very nice hi-fi stores with turntables all laid out on going around the wall and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, I reminisce, and now you just get this cheap and nasty stuff. That's all you get. What people call a hi-fi with these little 3x2 inch speakers. It's a bit funny, really. How do you get good bass out of that? Anyway, there's my 3 pence VK2 Metal Zulu VK2 TTL.
VK2 TTL, VK2 HZ portable. It caught me swinging the camera around the room. Had to put it back where it belongs. Yeah, that's. I have to admit, I'm not an audio person, so all of those different makes and models are going over my head. So not quite sure what the significance of those are, and I assume that transferring vinyl into whatever that can play. Why would you put it in a cassette deck? Is it better quality than transferring it into digital, or is it just the fact that we're all getting old and we like to reminisce about the old days? I reckon that's what it is. Round to Joe. VK2EIR, VK2HZ portable.
Yeah, VK2 Hotel Zulu portable in the group. This is VK2EIR returning. Just one or two comments. First comment is on the repeater performance. I noticed, perhaps 4 or 5 weeks ago, I'm not sure when an upgrade or repairs were done, I noticed the signal strength I was getting here in Castle Hill was approximately, it could be anything up to 20 over, and recently it's struggling at 5x9. Nothing wrong with 5x9. The only comment I'm making is that the signal strength doesn't seem to be as good as it was shortly after the repairs or upgrade was done. So that's just a technical report from my side. And yeah, those ceramic filters for the 897 Delta or the 857 Delta, the same as the TS2000X, commercially they're about $2 each, and it could cost you anything up to $100 to have the job done. But the filters are not expensive. There seem to have been manufacturing quality control problems for a lot of those filters going back a few years. I hope and I expect that they've improved that since, but that's what happened to my TS2000X, and I left in the 897 Delta after one of my trips abroad, and I brought back the 897 Delta with me and left it in for repairs, and they said they replace this, replace that, or whatever. So, but I'm not sure whether it was the filters or not, but it seems like it's an inherent problem in receivers that were manufactured probably 4, 5, 6 years ago. Whenever around that particular time, those filters, there was I won't say a faulty batch, but a batch of filters that didn't go the distance or last the distance, and consequently have to be recalled. The good guys in Kenwood, for me down in North Ryde, they recognized the problem, and they basically said I didn't bring it back for a warranty repair. I just brought it back for repair, period. But they basically recognized it was a warranty problem, and they repaired it for free. The technician down there, a very, very nice guy, his name was Jan. I don't know much more about him, but he was very, very professional. That's all I'm prepared to say on that subject. So yeah, nothing else much to report here. Joe, VK2JP, I'll follow up
a lot of the people I encounter on 20 meters, English is not their first language, so they don't have any problem with my accent. So that's a good thing. I find there's a bit of that of a problem here in Australia because of cultural differences or whatever. So, okay, I'm going to make this my final. I've got an early start in the morning. I'll probably be in the shower by about 5:30 in the morning. So I'll catch all of you guys another time. And VK2JP, I'll catch up with you another time. And Roderick, VK2TTL, lovely signal coming through from you this evening. A bit low in volume, but a fantastic quality of signal coming through from you. And so I'll leave it at that. VK2, thanks for running the group, Hill, and my meter, you certainly seem to have looked after it very, very well. I think I got it back in better condition than when I gave it to you, which is it's a little bit unusual. Normally things age and get older, so when you get them back you have to expect a little bit of wear and tear, but I think in this case I think it came back looking better than when you got it. So back to you there, Hill, VK2, Hotel Zulu and the group.
Yeah, okay, Joe, not a problem. I think we may have timed out the reflector. It's not a problem. It's, I don't think anyone was using that at the time. Yeah, pleasure, Joe. Thank you for lending me that meter. It was invaluable. I still do need another one. So if anyone's got a 23 SEMS device that can measure reflected power, either a meter itself or maybe a coupler, a bidirectional coupler would be good that covers that frequency. So I need something to measure SWR at 1295 for ATV. So that would be good if anyone's got anything lying around that they want to get rid of. I'll be happy to purchase. Pleasure to have you with us, Joe. Thanks for coming up and all your comments and helping Joe out. That was excellent. Phil, round to you. VK2VR, VK2 HZ Portable.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Really. Sorry, I thought I better just give it a little bit more juice. Okay, so yeah, cheers, Joe. Catch you later. And g'day to everyone else that's just had a go. G'day Wayne. G'day Joe. The K for Kelvin, K for Kilo 960 was, I think it was one of the late 70s model of the cassette deck. Late 70s, possibly a little bit into the early 80s. It was a brute. It was a heavy thing. Great output. But the main redeeming feature for us at the time was that it had DBX. It had dynamic range expansion as an inbuilt function of the recorder. And I've just pulled out, I've got 70-ish, maybe 80 recorded cassettes, 90-minute cassettes. And I've just pulled out the first batch, so the very first ones that I recorded. And as far as nostalgia goes, pulled out the very first one that I ever recorded. I just played it back, and it is awesome. It's really good. I thought there might have been a bit more, or a bit of degradation on the cassettes, but they've always been well boxed. They've always been hidden from moistures and extremes, certainly from RF, certainly from magnetism. So I think I might have uncovered an archive of very, very interesting albums, that's for sure, because as I said, it was all around about that time that it was recorded. The scary part is that there's quite a bit of Elton John in the first box. Don't know what that's all about, but there you go. So the K960 was really good for DBX. It certainly filled up the tape. I used SAs, or I went through quite a lot of TDK cassettes at the time. I know there are better cassettes. I know that Bill and I spoke about some cassettes, and we actually spoke in the fact that I was looking to get these things played again. As I said, turn it on, press the play button, and the levels were spot on, and I'm really stoked, really happy. I just tried the amplifier for the sub, and unfortunately I've got to do some cabinetry work, so got to dig a bit more out to fit this bloody huge amplifier into this sub. So that will be a little bit of fun as well. I'm not a massive collector of audio. I do like the Yamaha stuff. I've had Yamaha since I was a kid and could afford it. I had some gear given to me by one of my customers. He just said, Phil, I'm getting out. I'm moving house. This is not going to fit in my new house. So I ended up with a reasonably good pair, cosmetically, a reasonably good pair of NS1000s, which were the top of the line Yamaha speakers. I also got a really good TX930 AM/FM radio from him as well. The MX830 amplifier and the CX1000 control amp, and it's just fabulous. I love radio. I love music. I love. I can even put my HF radio through the DAT input, through the optical input to the amplifier, and isn't that interesting? That's an interesting phenomena as well. So there you go. There you have it. That's kind of the rundown of what I'm doing at the moment. VK28Z portable, VK2VR.
Yeah, okay, Phil. VK2VR, VK2HZ portable. I just did a search for it on the interweb, and looking at a few pictures of that device, which I'm retransmitting on Ustream at the moment. For anyone watching, there's a couple of people there. Not sure who you are, but hello. So yeah, interesting stuff, Phil. And I know you're into your audio. I heard you in the past talking about all the equipment that you have and have had. So yeah, that's good. I'm a one-track mind, unfortunately. My hobby consists of amateur radio, and that's about it. So it gets pretty boring when you're talking to me, unless of course you're a radio ham. I've got no other hobbies, and people say, okay, yeah, you're a radio ham. What other hobbies do you do? None. No, that's it. Yep. Okay. Round to Bill. VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ portable. Oh, we had a double there. We heard Bob. Acknowledge Bob, VK2AOR. Who was the other person? And we have another double. Bill, are you still there? VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ portable. Not quite sure what's happening there. Have we got an issue? Can anyone hear me? VK2AW.
Are you still there, Hill?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Pull the radio off the table.
Alex? You might be right, Wayne. Go ahead, Bill. You're over. Go ahead.
That's strange. Don't quite know what's going on there. Turn it
I
off.
think the IRLP link just changed.
That was a strange one. Can anyone hear me? VK2HZ portable.
Yeah, we can hear you. It looks like I can't hear Bill though. Bill's talking and it's not coming in.
Yeah, there was some strange phenomena that went on there. We seem to have lost you, Bill. Not quite sure what happened, or if you're still talking underneath. So we'll just break, see if you're still there. VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ portable. That was a weird one. Maybe just as the IRLP reflector disconnected, possibly. Something strange went on. Bob, good evening to you. VK2AOR, VK. Oh, well, you've probably you're probably not there. You were probably coming in via the reflector. Anyway, we'll pause for Bob. VK2AOR, VK2HZ portable.
Before that, the other fellow there was coming in, but you can't hear him. Anyway, over to Bob.
Yeah, Roger. Hillary, good evening. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, VK2 AOR. I'm just in Castle Hill Mobile at the moment and heading home. My mum's been in hospital since Sunday morning and in Norwest Private Hospital. She was having trouble breathing and a terrible pain in the leg, so the pain in the leg's still to be resolved, and she had a massive E. coli infection and is not in too good a shape, but she's certainly improving. But anyway, that's pretty much why I didn't call in from the Central Coast tonight, and been a bit of a ragged week running backwards and forwards to Norwest Hospital. So yeah, but in the meantime, on Tuesday I took delivery of Ubiquity M2 nano station, or Vicky Versa, whichever way it is, but it's a 600 watt 11 dB antenna. So that's the one I've purchased. So that's where I'm at the moment. Not had much other time to. I've unpacked it, and that's about as far as I've got. And anyway, I better put it back to you before I time the repeater out. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, VK2 AOR.
VK2AOR mobile, VK2HZ portable. Yeah, okay, yeah, Bob. Sorry to hear about your mother. That's not good news, and at least she's a little better than she was, Bob. So that's always a good sign. I hope things progress further for her, and yeah, always a worrying time, isn't it? It's good to hear you, Bob. I wish I had a 600 watt 11 dBi. I think you mean 600 milliwatt, but if it is 600 watt, that's cool too. I'll have one of those. What you have to do is persuade Lewis to get a device as well, because you're only a couple of k's away from each other, aren't you? And you'll probably be able to set up or start a mesh node up there, I would have thought. But I seem to remember you saying in an email that some of the guys up there were thinking about doing it, or they already had. So that's it's spreading like wildfire at the moment, and lots of people getting interested. So I'm waiting for Tim to get his device, to receive his device, which hopefully will be this week. And he's only less than a k away from me, and I didn't realise how close he was to me. So there are a lot of trees between us, but I'm hoping that we can we can get a first contact on mesh nodes on 2.4 gigs. So that'll be cool. Thanks for joining us, Bob. And where are we on the list? We missed Bill for some reason. Bill, I'm just going to see if he's still there and see if he can hear us. VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ Portable.
I don't know. Am I here?
You certainly are, but there was some strange stuff that was going on. But I think it may have had something to do with the reflector, the 9501 reflector, and something happened and we lost you, Bill. But please go again. VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ Portable.
I'm easily lost. I mean, people are always misplacing me, but I can't understand. I was apparently, I was talking and apparently radiating, but I was watching you on Ustream, and there seemed to be a different conversation going on, even taking into account time delay. And I thought to myself, I wonder if I am transmitting. So I let go of the button and somebody was already on. So to me, it appeared as if I was going out. I was showing RF, but apparently not. And even if the IRLP node or something had played up, that meant somebody would have been talking over the top of me, which I should have produced a heterodyne or something. So it does point back towards me losing RF. But I have no explanation as to why that would be, unless, of course, this computer-driven radio line's got a glitch in it. I really have no idea, but I won't repeat everything I said. But I think I was going for a couple of minutes before I realised that I wasn't appearing up on Ustream. VK2HZ Portable, VK2 FBI.
Oh, FBI, TTO, yeah, you were transmitting, but you, compared to your signal level now, it was a lot lower. So you help?
Yeah, not quite sure what happened, Bill. Oh, well, at least Ustream was some use this evening. Yeah, I think there was something strange going on. Anyway, I'm going to pass it back to Wayne. I'm just going to go and see what's going on. There's some noise outside, so I'll be away just for a second. Wayne, can you pass it round to Joe, VK2JP? And Joe, if you can pass it round to John, VK2SOL, I'd appreciate that. I'm just going out of the shack for a minute, so if nobody can remember who they've got to pass it to, pass it back to Rod. VK2FWAY, VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable.
VK2HZ Portable, VK2FWAY. It's alright, I've got it all written down, so that's okay, I know who I'm passing it to. You can pass the scene. I'm watching on Ustream as well. I was actually watching when you were fanning that camera around before and showing what was going on with Sat TC32 and all that sort of business. I'll say hi to Bob while he's still in range of the repeater. I did respond on the VK AMSAT forum as well, Bob. And they're glad that your mum's at least improving. So that's always a good sign. I was also going to make a comment about hobbies and things when Hill said about having no other hobbies. I'm exactly guilty of the opposite, having too many hobbies, and those hobbies dragged me away from radio for 30 odd years before I decided to come back. So, and hobbies, they tend to be expensive little things. So, yes, even this one again. Radio here, a radio there. You just shell out thousands spent it, I guess. But I was watching Hill also showing the Yamaha cassette players on Ustream as well. I have a Marantz Gold system. It's been sitting in the bedroom for many years, not being used. I think I started it up and it was all crackly, so I'll just unkey for a second. Yeah, but I noticed a lot of the switches were noisy, so I need to get in them and hit them with some cleaner and clean things up, because it does sound good. And I'm a little bit partial to older equipment, like radios. I like older amateur radios, ones in big boxes, and ones that sound good, rather than compact little devices crammed full of electrical components. They might work better, but they just don't have that nostalgic value. Also, I was going to comment earlier on a comment that Joe made about the batch of the filters being faulty. I did read something about something similar not too long ago, about a batch of filters not doing what they were supposed to do, but I can't remember exactly which radios they were for. It wasn't all that long ago. But anyway, having said all that, I've probably said too much, and I notice Hill's still not back, so I'll pass it back to Joe, VK2JP, to say something, and then pass it back around the group. VK2JP, VK2FWAY.
VK2FW, EFWPY or some, sorry, I didn't pick up that. But anyway, good evening, Bob, where you are. Nice to hear your voice after sorry to hear that news about your mom, but I hope everything is going okay, you know, and nothing much on this side. Actually, I'm just
Thank you, Wayne.
planning to go and do some other things. I have to go out to the room anyway, so it's perfect timing. And I'm chasing this now on the internet as well regarding this my problem with the 897. But Joe told me a few things, so I have to speak to Joe on the phone as well. So I only got the 2 filters inside anyway, and I opened the radio already, so I look at it, there's only one at 455 kilohertz filters inside, the rest of it, it's nothing, second filter, no option in the second, I think, so it's a second part, it's for the CW side, you know. And Hillary said, who is next? I forgot already, but I put it back to Bob. Well, I hope he's in the range. Say hello to him, and I'll be disappearing for a little while. VK2 AOR, this is VK2 JP returning for the group. Over.
Yeah, I'm back, Joe. Round to John, VK2 SOL, VK2 HZ Portable. John, are you there? VK2 SOL, VK2 HZ Portable. No, not there. Rod, you take it away. VK2 TTL. I had to go outside. I'm here on my own this evening. All the families are out. The family's out, and the dog wanted to go out. So, much more important that the dog goes outside and than radio. VK2 TTL, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 TTL. Yes, the dog has to have its nature break and all that sort of thing. Yeah, Bill, you were transmitting. I just what I was saying is that your signal was lower than what you when we could hear you. So, because I looked at the input to the repeater, direct, I can hear you direct. And when you were chatting away and the repeater couldn't hear you, you're like a colour, full bars and a bit noisy to me. And when everyone could hear you full strength to me directly. That doesn't mean anything, because these, well, just the quieting is better, so yeah, better signal. These meters are very good. I think there's about 1 dB per square or something. I looked at it once upon a time. There's not a lot of separation. But that 3, I think about 4S points is about, I think full strength or something stupid. Anyway, yeah, okay, it's been a good night. Yeah, my Yamaha's not as fancy as the DBX on it. Just a KX 260. Has Dolby B and C. Yeah, you still get a bit of hiss and that sort of stuff. But yeah, live cassettes still work. Got records, I can play on my record player now and then, but each time you play a record you wear it out a little bit. But it's still, dynamic range is still a lot better than cassettes I got. But you get a little bit of that pops and crackles, but you don't get the hiss the cassettes would have. And you don't get the digital distortion noise that some of the CDs might have. But usually they're reasonable these days. The receiver got an RX 970, so it's something about 50 watt or so. Saying earlier, the noise figures and rumble figures are quite good. It doesn't have any of the digital inputs and things like that. It's all analog. The only repair I had to do on it is the mode switch. When you switch the inputs, switch started failing. So I bought a new one of those. That's stuck in there. I'll get to web through one of the warehouse supplies all those bits and pieces, and they've got about 10 different names. They supply like good parts as well and all that sort of thing. Yeah, that is a moment. I've got a cup of tea there that's getting cold because I made it sitting here looking at satellite images of things. Currently fairly way up the north coast. Anyway, looking at that in between things. Okay, thanks for running the net there, Gil. Been doing a good job. I might say 73s on this round. And I'm running the low power mode of this radio, so I think this is got the 6 dBd, 6 dBd, 2 meters, I think, on the antenna. So if you want to have an idea about the signal strength and powers and things, it's 5 watts. Anyway, thanks a lot for running the net deal, and thanks everyone for participating. And hi Bob, good hearing you too. Castle Hill, you're having another late one, and you hope your mother's a lot better, and keep her out of hospital. VK2 HC Portable, VK2 TTL, Guru.
Yeah, okay, Rod. Thanks for coming by. And yeah, I don't quite know what happened there before, but it was a bit strange. But anyway, it's all working. It's all working at the moment, which is really good. And nice to see so many people out on 2 meters on the net. Makes a change. Has something to do with the weather, I think. So all good. Okay. Thanks again, Rod. and Joe's gone, and round to Phil, VK2VR, VK2HZ portable.
I'm here. Right, sorry for that. You just can't jump onto the transceiver from the other side of the room. I was right over in the other corner of the shed. I've actually cut out the enclosure now. It's great, 2 meters. Well, you can just turn the volume up a little bit. Everything's crystal clear from here. Everyone's signal obviously into the repeater is fantastic, so I can hear it no problems at all from out there doing some work. Yeah, it's good to see Bob's getting some of that stuff too. My stuff should arrive next week, so that'll be very interesting with the Ubiquiti stuff. I'm forever mindful that these antennas are directional, and I don't know what's going to happen. If everyone's pointing towards the city, then everyone's pointing towards the east. I don't really know what's going to work. What do you do? Point half the array the other way, break it in half, and point 2 up the hill and 2 down. I don't know. It's sort of struck me as a little bit weird when I was thinking about it the other day, but perhaps there's some logic to that. I presume everyone's going to the meeting. If everyone's still listening, I presume everyone's going to the meeting on Friday night. I'm quite sure I'm going to be there. At this stage, I haven't got anything else that's going to conflict. I am going to a show. I am going to the Blue Mountains Musical Society's opening night of Phantom of the Opera. That should be a bit of a lark. I've been working in the Springwood Civic Centre for some time, the Springwood Hub it's called now, and I've heard the overture far too many times now, so I might just tune out a little bit at the start of the show until the show actually starts, because it's been what they've used to set up the sound system in there. A nice guy called Cameron. And hobby-wise, yeah, I've probably got a few more as well, a bit like yourself, Wayne. You know, cars, 4-wheel drives, sound systems, computers, and crazy things like that. Plus my true love, which is amateur radio. But you know, it's nice to mix it up a little bit and occasionally. And I love listening to old vinyl. I love listening to old radio. I love jazz and classical, and I've got so many Deutsche Grammophon records here. It's crazy. I've got so many records here on tap, and I probably only played most of my old collection. I've got so many other parts of collections. I've got Polish music. I've got Polish opera. I've got lots of stuff. But thankfully, most of it was bequeathed to me, and some of it I picked up myself. The Deutsche Grammophon stuff, I've actually been mindful to look when we go to op shops to find if there's any of those around, because they do have great recordings. I've got quite a lot of 180 and 200 gram vinyl, and I've also got a reasonable amount of 3 or 4 or 5, I think, of the you know, the really the what do you call it? I can't remember, the original master recording records. One of which is Dark Side of the Moon, which everyone has to have, you know. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and hobbies are great. I just wish my missus had some hobbies. I'm not going to get her into radio though. Yeah, she's quite a good painter, but she doesn't do it. Anyway, there you have it. Okay, 7-3s guys, great to see you. I hope to see you all on Friday night. Should be a good night. Hope we get a chance to talk about the Ubiquiti stuff or the ham mesh stuff. That'd be really cool. Right, 7-3s guys, take it easy. VK2HZ portable, VK2VR.
Yeah, okay, Phil. Thanks for coming through. I'm just looking at your location and the possible paths that you might have. You've got some excellent paths further out into the Sydney Basin. In actual fact, you're probably the only one at the moment that has some sort of path to Rod TTL, because he's a fair way out. But there is a potential path between you and he, and who else was there? Who yeah, Rod has got a potential path to you. It's a green one, and to Alf VK2YAC, there's a potential path there as well. So there are some good things that could happen from up there. What have we got? EJH, Eric, there's a potential path there as well. He's a fair way out because of your location, and fairly high, very high. There are some possibilities, so I wouldn't be too disheartened, particularly with anyone that comes up around you there. You should have a reasonable signal in that area. So going to be interesting to see, but just keen to get as many people on at the moment and working and operating, and then we can sort out some physical paths and where's best to point antennas and so on and so forth. And we should be able to do that fairly easily as more and more people come on. So I don't think it's too far away before things start taking off, and we're getting some RF connections between us. Okay, thanks for coming in, Phil. Really appreciate it. Good to see you, and yes, hopefully I'll be up at the club on Friday evening. Round to Bill, VK2 FBI, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 FBI in the group. Yeah. Thanks to Rob there for his comments before. I'm still not sure what happened. He's saying I'm transmitting RF and he could hear me, but the repeater couldn't hear me. I was in a bit earlier in the net tonight. I commented that I thought the signals into the repeater over recent days has been very noisy. And even your signal tonight, Hillary, I can hear a nasty buzz on it. Sounds like mains interference. Yeah, what happens is I was only running 10% power tonight, but that's normal here. I only ever run 10% power. Yeah, we pensioners, we have to save on our electricity bill somehow, and that's my way. So that's not unusual. That's what I run every night. So I did wind it up to 50%. So I hope you know my carbon footprint's got a lot bigger, and you can blame me for global warming from now on, but that doesn't really explain what was going on. If Rod could hear me, does he have a better receive location than the repeater, or perhaps the repeater's suffering from some interference, which I'm hearing on Hill's signal tonight. Anyway, these and many other questions will remain unanswered, I'm afraid. But back to you there, Hill. VK2HZ Portable in the group, VK2FBI.
VK2HZ Portable, yeah, okay, Bill, yeah, not sure. I'm not too worried. It's working now, that's good. No problems. I would suspect there was something going on with the IRLP link, because I did hear part of it go down about 10 minutes before it was supposed to. So I suspect something was happening there. Don't know why I've got a noisy signal. I'm on full power. Yeah. Oh well, we'll wait and see what transpires. Thanks, Bill. Round to Bob. VK2 AOR mobile, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 AOR, and good evening to everyone on the net, and Rod and Bill and Wayne and who else was there? There was Hillary and of course the Master of Ceremonies, and there was someone else I forgot. John, VK2SOL, I didn't hear him, but sounds like he was in there and having a go, so good on you, John, if you're still listening. And Phil, VK2VR, good to hear you, Phil. I came in just as you were finishing off on your previous over, so Anyway, all good stuff. I'm pulled up in the car park of Macca's. Not that I'm getting a coffee. I'm just wanted to complete the net while I had a good signal. Once I hit the M2, it pretty well dies on me. So that's about the story. Yeah, that wasn't 600 watts. It was 600 milliwatts. The Ubiquity. I don't think they make them in 600 watts, but if they do, I'll have one of those too. But I was looking at the Airlink software, and it looks like there's a pretty good pass from the repeater tower at Summersby to sort of the Blue Mountains area. So that's the only one I've really looked at. I looked at it going through Lawson, and that looks like a pretty good pass, but it's about 78 kilometres, and I'm not sure if the 600 milliwatts, well, satellites do a lot worse than that, don't they? They do a lot longer distance than that, so, but I'm not sure about that frequency. So that's worth investigating, and I'll probably put another one maybe back to back on it. I'm not sure how that would work, but put it into a switch or something, and put two of them into a switch, one pointing to my place and one pointing to Lawson. But anyway, that's a little bit in the early stages. They haven't really put anything up yet, as far as I know. But they've got some extensive amount of gear up there apparently, so I've got to suss that out. A lot of commercial stuff. I'll just rekey. Yeah, so the project was to try and get some telemetry signals from Summersby back to the computer. It's terrible when you get stuck for a word. The repeater manager, so that he can monitor solar panels, etc. And the path looks clear to my place from Summersby, and then we could bounce back into Don's place. But anyway, that's a little project happening on the side, and got a little bit of work to try and get that up and running from a data collection point of view. Anyway, what else is happening? Forgotten. Anyway, you were talking to Wayne about his antennas, and I wonder if he's still there, if he's received them yet. Yeah, it sounds interesting, Wayne, and I'll look forward to reading your response to that email I sent to you when I get home. Can't think of anything else at the moment, Hill. Not coming to mind immediately, so back to you. VK2 Hotel Zulu portable, VK2 Alpha Oscar Romeo.
VK2 AOR mobile, VK2 HZ portable. Yeah, okay, Bob. I'll definitely be having a coffee if you stopped there. That's for sure. I could do with a coffee. Thanks for coming in. That sounds an interesting project. So I look forward to hearing how you guys get on with that one. Certainly, there's some potential to do something in relation to the repeaters here. Not quite sure what people want to do or would like to do. But yeah, if we get some links up and running and they're reliable, I mean that's the main thing. They have to be reliable links. Then something like that can be done to control various aspects of the repeaters. Phil's probably in an excellent location to provide some links and or redundancy links for that sort of stuff, because he's extremely close to the repeater, obviously. So yeah, that's cool. Excellent. Look forward to hearing how you get on with that, Bob. Back round, so we're down the bottom. I'm sure there's nobody else that wants to join us, but we'll just take a break and see if there's any very late joiners of the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club 2-meter net. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable listening. No, reminder that the Blue Mountains Club is meeting on Friday evening. Doors open 7:30 for start at 8. Everyone's welcome. If you'd like to join us up at Glenbrook, BMARC.org is the URL for the website. Please go to the website, have a look, and it'll be a pleasure to see you and meet you. Round to Wayne, VK2 FWAY in the group, VK2 HZ Portable.
VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 FWAY. Yeah, actually, I was just going to comment, you're not actually full quieting into the repeater. I'll agree with Bill, you do have a bit of noise. I can hear you much better simplex than I can through the repeater. The repeater here is about 60 dB over 9, and you're about 40 over simplex, but much quieter. There's definitely a little bit of crackle. And when you last spoke before you went to Bill, you definitely had quite a lot of noise on your signal. So I think the repeater is actually has something funny going on with it. So I don't think you're hearing things, Bill. I can hear it here as well. And Bob, the antenna. Well, I have the antenna. I had to wait for them. I didn't have one ready to ship. I've got the 2-meter one. It's now in transit, ex-Germany, and when it arrives, I will peruse it. I may stick it up in the air to just see how it works, and if I'm happy with it, then I'll go ahead and order the 70 centimeter version of it as well. And I'll keep you informed as to my thoughts on how it is. But I'm sitting here with all just waiting, because I also have another transceiver coming. I went out, put some money on I bought a IC 910.
Hello.
To play satellites with. So that's about all I really have to say. I'll throw it back to Hill and throw it around a bit more. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, VK2 FWAY.
Yeah, okay, Wayne. It's interesting that my signal is weaker in. I don't quite know why that would be, but interesting. I'll have to investigate that, see what's going on. The repeater's not down in signal strength with me, receive-wise, so interesting. Let's see if Joe is still with us. VK2JP, VK2HZ Portable. No, it looks like Joe's gone, so we've just got Bill, yourself, Wayne, Bill and Bob. Back round to you, Bill, VK2 FBI, VK2HZ Portable.
VK2 FBI. Yeah, thank you for seconding the motion there, Wayne. Actually, your signal, Wayne, it is noise free into the repeater. It's
Right.
you're doing very well indeed. Don't know if Phil's gone there, but he's also close to the repeater, so I expect him to be noise free. But it's just funny, as I say, I did mention without prompting earlier in the evening that I thought the repeater was not hearing well because over the last few days, all I've heard is noisy, fluttery signals on the input, which is not normally the situation. It was a few months ago before they fixed the antenna up. Everyone was noisy and fluttery and not making it. And then after Phil and some other people got up there and fixed the aerial up, mysteriously everyone was then sort of noise free or into it. And I don't know, the noise I'm hearing on top of U-Hill it sounds like main buzz. It's got a nasty sort of a buzzing sound, like an arcing sound upon it. And it may be that there's something happening there on the input frequency of the repeater, quite close to the repeater. So it may not be the device itself, but certainly when people say they're hearing me, okay, but I'm not making the repeater, that does sound very suspicious. Unless they've got a better location than the repeater. And even so, how much better can it be? I'm a long way away. I mean, there wouldn't be much in the way of path difference. I'm actually operating backscatter off the CBD, which does produce some peculiar things, but they're normally fairly predictable. Excuse me. Well, I'm thinking of pouring myself a drink for no other reason than to celebrate the fact that I have managed to go through the entire day without using a tissue. Well, that's a small lie. I did use a tissue this morning, but it was to dry out my ears after I had a shower. But there was a night not so long ago I used 2 boxes of tissues in 6 hours. And I'm not sure what the Guinness Book of Records says, but I think I should nominate myself VK2 HZ in the group, VK2 FBI.
Okay, Bill. I'm not going to make any comments on that at all. But other than I'm glad that that you're feeling better and things are improving. So I'll just leave it at that, Bill. And we'll keep an eye on the repeater and see how it goes. I'm a bit concerned that I'm noisy into the repeater and whether it's my end here or whether I have something going on. Hopefully not. Back round to Bob. VK2 AOR mobile, VK2 HZ portable.
VK2 HZ portable, VK2 AOR mobile. I was headed off underway and when I hit the freeway it's just going to die on me. But anyway, a little comment about I sometimes hear a little bit of noise, but I wouldn't say it was, doesn't sound like 50 cycle hum to me. It sounds more like low signal level into the repeater. Now, whether that's an antenna problem or a path problem, maybe that's why it varies. Maybe the path is not as good as you'd like. Anyway, that's my 2 bobs worth, or 1 bob's worth tonight. And what was the other thing? Oh, the other thing I've noticed with the repeater is that the ident is extremely loud. I mean, I've got crook ears. I've got one ear that's dead, and the other one's supported by a hearing aid, and so my frequency range is not very high. I'd probably be lucky to be hearing 3 kilohertz. So I'm not a good judge of signals and noises at this point in time. But anyway, all sounds good. it's the 50 cycle hill. Yeah. All right, I've said that, so I won't rehash it. There was something else I was going to say. Can't think of what it was, but yeah, good on Wayne with your antennas there, Wayne, and I'll certainly be interested to hear how that performs. There's a lot of stuff about full wave loops on the internet, so I'm sure people have tried lots of things, but I've never ventured into that area myself. So good on you, Wayne. It's experimenting. Okay, thanks Hill for running the net. I'm just about to turn off the Tennant Hills Road into the M1. So I'll say 73s, and thanks for running the net, and I'll catch up with you later. VK2 Hotel Zulu Portable, VK2 Alpha Oscar Romeo Mobile.
Yeah, okay, Bob. VK2 AOR Mobile, VK2 HZ Portable. Not a problem. Thanks for coming up. Really appreciate it. And you're at the bottom of the list, so I think we'll close the net for the evening. We'll go around to Wayne and to Bill for last words. As you'll probably, as you say, lose the repeater as you travel up the freeway. So good evening to you, Bob, and thanks very much. Round to Wayne, VK2FWAY, VK2HZ Portable.
VK2HZ Portable, VK2FWAY. Yeah, cheers, Bob. Yeah, I'm to them and looking forward to checking out these antennas and see if they perform as good as what the specification says that they should. And they're short and hopefully easily manageable, which is what I liked about them. With the short boom length and the high gain factor. And just another thing was that I was going to comment on Hill. The last couple of overs, you've again been noise free, so I don't know what's going on. But I'll agree with what Bob said. It didn't sound like 50 cycle hum to me either. It definitely sounded, you just had that low signal crackle along with your signal. I don't know what was happening. But that's just my observation. And I noticed you there patting your best friend there. The dog. While I sit here, I get harassed by the cats. So, yeah, keeping the cat hair out of the radios is the fun part. All right, I'll throw it back to you, Hill, and you can throw it back to Bill, and then close the net down. VK2 HZ Portable, VK2 FWAY.
Yes, my daughter's dog. I always said no dogs in the house, thank you. And then she turns up on her birthday. Boyfriend had bought her a dog. I wonder who looks after the dog these days. Okay, cheers, Wayne. Thanks for coming up. Pleasure to have you with us. Be a pleasure to see you at the club one evening. If you can make it, that would be cool. Round to you, Bill. You get the last word. VK2FBI, or maybe Bob gets the last word. He's at the end if he's still with us, but he's probably got a poor signal by now. VK2FBI, VK2HZ Portable.
VK2HZ Portable, VK2FBI. Yeah, well, just to clarify things, I didn't say mains hum. I said it sounds like arcing. And the reason it can't possibly be 50 hertz is because the receiver up there has got a subaudible tone filter in the thing which filters out everything below about 250 hertz. So
even if it was heavily modulated with 50 hertz, you wouldn't hear it anyway unless you were listening on the input. And only then if your receiver had a frequency response of sort of DC upwards. Now the sound is raspy. It sounds like an arcing sound. And it could be arcing mains because if you arc on the mains, it doesn't have a 50 hertz component. It has a very wide spectrum component, as arcing does. It's all over the place. And yeah, now the other thing I had to mention, a comment on, was something I've overlooked. I think it was you, Hill, who mentioned a while ago you were looking for a directional coupler. This isn't exactly convenient because I'm down here and you're out there somewhere at the foothills of the mountains. But I have a Hewlett-Packard dual directional coupler, frequency range 100 megs to 2 gigahertz. Needless to say, it's an HP. I sort of question the integrity of the unit, but it's a piece of mechanical engineering beauty. I opened it up one day, I had about 10,000 screws holding the cover on it. Took me half a day, an electric drill, but electric screwdriver, but it was a work of art inside. It was something beautiful. No wonder they cost so much. But yeah, I've also, I use that for measuring return loss on antennas and such, but my test set, my Marconi, only goes up to 1050 megahertz, so it won't go up to 2 gigs anyway. But you know, I think anything above a gig is a flashlight really. So I'm more of an RF man. But for what it's worth, if you can arrange to pick it up, you're welcome to borrow. And I can certainly vouch for the device. It's a marvelous thing. I've got a tracking generator on my spectrum analyzer, and it's beautiful feeding it through the Hewlett-Packard. You can see the return loss of things, and quite often I've gone out to sites and reset, and you whack the antenna line on the end of it and find out it's not really an antenna, it's a broadband attenuator, I think is the correct description. So it's a magic device. Used it a lot over the years. It was one of those things, you know, never leave home without it. It's also very good for designing antennas and tuning antennas. But, okay, let me know, VK. Good night, everyone. And we'll see you next Wednesday night, God willing, as I say now. I was just thinking about Wayne. We had a marvellous conversation a couple of weeks ago after the net finished. And I was thinking, Wayne, you just missed out on the Guinness Book of Records for being the last person to have a kiss with me. Have you thought about that? VK28Z, VK2FBI.
It's not a very nice thought to leave us on, Bill. I hope your week goes well, and you improve, continue improving as time goes on. It's excellent to have you with us. And yeah, I really want to buy something. I need something for 1296 or around there, 1250 actually, for ATV, so I can. I've got a loop antenna, loop Yagi, I suppose you call them, loop Yagi, yeah, at 23 sems, but I want to make sure that it is operating correctly at that frequency, but I've got nothing to be able to do that at this point in time. So I want to purchase something to do that, and also some other antennas as well. So yep, excellent. Thank you for the offer, Bill. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's just see if Bob is still with us. I suspect not. VK2AOR mobile, VK2HZ portable. Nope, he's not in range of the repeater at the moment, so we'll call it an evening. It's been a long one tonight, so we're at 9:55. We'll call it an evening. Thank you to everyone, to Wayne, to Joe, to John, Rods, and Joe, and Phil, Bill, and Bob. There you go. Excellent turnout this evening. Thanks to everyone. BMARC.org is the URL for the website of the Blue Mountains Amateur Radio Club. Go along there, have a look. They're conducting foundation license, I think, very soon, and also upgrade classes every Wednesday evening. So go along to the website, have a look at that, and club meeting this Friday. Doors open at 7:30 for the meeting start at 8 p.m. Good evening to everyone. Good evening to all the shortwave listeners. Pleasure to have you with us, and catch you all again next week. 80 meter net on Tuesday evenings with Brian, VK2AAF, on 3543 at 8 p.m. local, and again 2 meters next Wednesday. Have a good week. Have a good radio week. Get up all of the your experiences during the week, and come back next week and tell us what you've been up to. VK now going over to my own call sign, Victor Kilo 2 India Uniform Whiskey. Thank you to everyone for coming on. VK2RUW going to get a coffee. Cheers.
Okay, Hill. Cheers. I'll see you on Friday night. I'll be at the meeting anyway.
Ah, excellent, Wayne. Look forward to meeting you in person. That'll be good. Cheers to everyone. VK2RUW.